So number 12 said, in a right triangle, the sides that include the right angle. What we're talking about in a right triangle is these. These two sides here, they include the right angle. We call them legs. So a right triangle has two legs and a hypotenuse. The longest of those is the hypotenuse. The legs are always the two shorter numbers. As we get into it, here's the deal. I am not a math purist. I will tell you this. Generally, they call the shortest leg side A and the longest leg side B. But I don't care which you call A or B. In the future, though, the teacher may say, I don't like that. That's side A. Deal with it. Okay, number 13. An angle whose measure is greater than 90 degrees but less than 180. Obtuse. What does 180 degrees equal? A straight line. And we know that a triangle can be ripped apart as long as you don't have Omar do it. And all the angles will form a straight line. You just got to tell Omar, don't rip it straight down the middle. That was my fault for not explaining fully.
Yeah, you kind of just said rip it and he did.
Okay. Lines in a plane that do not intersect. It's a shame because they have so much in common, but they'll never meet. Parallel lines. Oh, I forgot to put an obtuse angle.
Your handwriting is so small.
So, parallel lines are lines that never meet. They're in the same plane, but they run parallel. They have the same slope. What's wrong?
I can't see it.
Really? Are you not wearing glasses?
No.
I can't see.
Remember, if you don't wear glasses, you're going to end up dating an ugly person. I'm just saying.
Harsh.
And now you got to go spit out your gum again, like I told you the first time. Oh, but you got to keep your tongue in your mouth. I'm just harassing you. Okay, so parallel lines. The symbol to indicate parallel lines is actually the little double L's. That is the symbol. If you see it in math and it says this line is parallel to this line, they'll just draw the two little straight lines. That's why it's on your keyboard.
It is?
Yep. What is an angle that measured 90 degrees called?
Right angle.
A right angle. It is the only angle that's not wrong.
Yes, it is.
No, by definition it's right.
It's right angle.
So a right angle has 90 degrees. What has less than 90 degrees? What's it called?
Acute angle.
What? Acute. How about more than 90 degrees?
We have more vocab.
Obtuse angle.
We never get any separate.
I know. No, I passed it out yesterday.
Oh, that's cute. So it'll
I always wanted a console. Alright, so here comes your second one. Paste it in behind the first one.
21.
I told you this one had a lot, but I know you know already what an obtuse angle is, what a right angle is, what an acute angle is, which means they're... What do you want? I told you. I just cut it down.
Hey, we're out of these.
Did anybody not get one?
Never mind, I was wrong.
Okay, get those glued in. You got extras? They vary from really one. Anybody not get one?
You have my jacket.
No. No. No.
I am.
No. You didn't get my permission.
I have an appointment.
Are they going to do excessive drilling?
Yes.
Because if they are, you can go.
Just say yes. That would be go.
Okay. So you should have these in.
No.
I told you again, this unit, I have a lot more in there, but we're going to talk about angles. I can't help it. No, don't use that as a chapstick. Although, there are some people in here that would make a great use of it.
I would.
Because their lips would stick together.
Look at this.
And I'm just thinking.
Mine would.
Spencer is not here. You're not allowed to pick on people that aren't here.
Yeah, you
So,
are.
let's talk about a triangle containing a right angle. What's it called?
Right angle.
No.
Right
It
triangle.
It's called a right triangle.
Well, I was right. Wait, there's more vocab?
All right, I can't spell. A right triangle. So a right triangle contains a right angle, and we dedicate that, or we denote that by drawing a little square in the corner. That means it's 90 degrees.
I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
Does this mean that there's going to be 20 questions on the vocab test?
No.
Okay.
Vocab will still be 10 questions.
But we
All
just don't know
right,
which
number 17. Figures with the same shape but not necessarily the same size.
Polygon.
Same shape. They
different size.
have they're proportional, but they're not the same size.
Oh, like cute
We call them similar. They are similar if they have the same shape, which means if I had two triangles, one was big and one was small, but both of them had the same angles. They're similar triangles. If they were both the same size, what would we call them? Haley, what would we call them? If the two triangles were the same exact size and shape, what would we call them? No, well, they are similar, but there's
similar.
something better.
Congruent.
Congruent. Very good. They're congruent, which means they're exactly the same. Two angles whose measures have a sum of 180 degrees. We call them supplementary. Supplementary angles add up to 180. And I want you to think about this. If I've got a line, and I've got a line coming to it, I made two angles. What's the total degrees of that line?
180.
What? 180. So the two angles that make up that line equal
180.
180. Supplementary angles can create a line because they equal 180. Man, because they're the same. Okay, does this make you happier? Just for Sierra. Little triangle, big triangle. Similar. Are you good now? Happier. All right, it's all about her happiness?
Yes.
Okay, a line that intersects two or more lines. Okay, now give it to me. Araya? Now give it to me. A line that intersects two or more lines, we call that a transversal. Just sit on my desk. You can get it at the end of the day. A transversal intersects two or more lines. We call that a transversal. That's probably, among all the word definitions we do here, the one that's the most odd to calculate. Does that make sense? So picture a little T. It's got a line that intersects the other line. Call it a transversal. So we use transversals a lot because they slice things. Okay? The sum of the angle measures in a triangle is 180 degrees. It's called the Triangle Sum Theorem.
That sounds smart.
Yeah, somewhere way back, somebody said, hey, in a triangle, the three angles equal 180 degrees. And then the other people said, woo.
Now where's the picture for that one?
And then they didn't go to McDonald's because it hadn't been invented yet. They didn't have a shake, it hadn't been invented yet. And they didn't have a soda, it hadn't been invented yet.
Hey, doesn't those two triangles and
Then what did they drink?
can they make it look like water?
No. All right.
Water's good, but I wouldn't want that.
So Triangle Sum Theorem says if I've got a triangle and it's got angle A, angle B, and angle C, then angle A, or the measure of angle A, plus the measure of angle B, plus the measure of angle C equals 180 degrees. That's very long-winded. That little m in front of angle just means the measure of it. And I will tell you that it's not uncommon for people to drop that because angle C equals 180 kind of makes sense. But to be completely mathematical, we'll just throw that little m up there. So the three angles inside a triangle equal 180 degrees. Or if you rip the triangle in three pieces, it makes a line. All right, the last one. The point where two sides intersect on an angle or polygon. That point where they intersect, that's called the vertex. Bad pickup line. Hey girl, you know, I believe I'm a line and you're a line and this is our vertex.
I feel like you would be the one to say that to a girl. You'd probably say that to his wife multiple times.
No.
Probably.
No, but she would just roll her eyes at me. All right. Any question on definitions?
No.
Nope.
Do we have homework?
Put everything away in your bags and get a computer.
Why?
Why?
So, do I use one for robotics?
Yes.
Mr. Miller, what if she says you're
Is she still in robotics? Yeah. I still have to help my team.
Mr. Wheeler.
Yeah. I still need to help my team though. They still gotta do stuff. And I still have to do it. Yeah, look.
My book is always here and always available. Which means if you want to copy it, you can. You don't have a log on, so if you want to just sit and use it yourself, you can. You don't have a log on. Here's what I want you to do. One, anywhere Lizzie goes, you're on her. You, anywhere Sierra goes, you're on her. She's going to log on. We're going to play a little game rather than this loud. But that way you can yell behind them.
Are we doing
So if you want to fill those out, oops, I guess I could stop this.